Hello, how's it going? Good, great, fantastic. Now, it's been a while since I've made a cooking video, and the last video I made, aside from looking like a dishevelled tramp that had just lost a fight with a windblower, I made a keto-based product that was cloud bread using cream cheese and a bunch of other stuff, and it turned out to be really nice. So this time round, because I'm again dieting and losing this time round a shit ton of weight, I thought, let's do another keto-based product, this time using almond flour. Now bear in mind, almond flour, it's not cheap. However, I did find somebody, they're called realfoodsource.com, and for 1 kilo, I paid about £7.50 for this. Again, it's not cheap, you're not going to do this all the time, I'm not going to be doing this all the time, but I thought, let's give it a try, see how it turns out. The cloud bread turned out really nice. And everyone's always banging on about almond flour, so I thought, let's do this and see how it turns out. Let's face it, I'm an idiot. You're actually going to do this. You're just here to look at me and this beautiful face and this beard that I've had to dye because it's gone very grey. Combined with this, now these scones are going to be savoury. I will down the line maybe try some sweeter versions. But I thought, let's go savoury for now and see how this goes. Seeing as we're doing savoury scones, what better thing to combine with almond flour than some cheese? Now then, I got this is from Morrison's, not a sponsor, a spicy 4-cheese mix, but you could do cheddar, you could grate your own, any cheese you want. Unless you live in America, in which case, go find real cheese. Don't just get the stuff from Walmart, that's basically 90% plastic, okay? Now, of course, I may be British, but I am of Greek heritage. And so that means I have to add something a little Greek into this cheese scone mix. And what better thing to add than, of course, some feta. Not a sponsor, although Dodoni makes the greatest ice cream you'll ever had in your life. So if you're ever in Greece, look for the Dodoni sign and go get their ice cream. It's the best in the world. Actually, Israel had the best ice cream. That's because the kibbutz I stayed in had dairy cows, where the milk was literally taken from there down to a kind of stop-off station, and they made ice cream fresh. It was as fresh as it could get. Besides that, the Dodoni's next in line to that. Along with that, I do like a bit of spice, so I'm adding cayenne pepper, because, you know, mummy didn't raise no bitch. Some garlic pepper, baking powder, obviously. Some Himalayan salt. Now, it's just because the only salt I have where you can grind it in. Otherwise, I've used any old bloody salt that you can grind in. So don't think I'm some kind of posh twat. Couple of eggs. Again, that's your binding agent, and butter. Because nothing shouts healthy keto diet like lots of cheese, lots of butter. On with the mixing. Now, always be prepared, because this isn't the kitchen. This is the dining room, and the kitchen is behind me. But it's too cramped, and the camera's too like this, so, you know, get everything you need. I've got my scissors. Now I'm going to be measuring in cups, but every time I say something like, oh, 2 cups, something will pop down here. Not that. Something relevant to the cup measurement. Thank you. Oh, look at that. A big bowl just appeared in front of me. Editing. Right, so 2 cups of almond flour. This is a 1 cup measure thing, so obviously I'm going to need 2 of these. Quick math. Right. 1 cup. 2 cups. 2 teaspoons of baking powder. Said to add baking soda as well, but I don't have baking soda, so 1, 2. Right, next we have the cayenne pepper. I don't know how spicy you might like it, so this one there's no specific measurements. Put what you like. I like mine to have a nice little bit of a kick. So I'm going to put around about that much. I don't know how much that is, but that's how much I'm going to put in. Next we have garlic pepper. A tablespoon. Next we have the cheese. About 1 cup should do it. Again, there's no real rules here. You can have it as cheesy as you like, not as cheesy. The good thing with this is you can rip her flaps open and shove your fist in. Oh yeah, baby, get that money. Right. A little bit more. It's all going all over the floor, making a mess here. Right, that should do it. Next we'll add the feta. Now she's a little bit wet, so the best thing to do is just show her naked pictures of me and that will make her drier than the Sahara Desert. Failing that, just shake it off a little bit before you put it in and just crumple some in. Again, we don't want to go too nuts with this. Just, there we go. I think that should do it. Lastly, the salt. Now we mix all our dry ingredients together, make sure the flour doesn't have any lumps in it, and then we'll combine the wet. We'll add a bit more cheese, combine that in. Again, the good thing with it, mixing in with the flours, it's all going to stick to it and it shouldn't all sink down to the bottom. Now that all our dry ingredients are mixed, I'm going to go and melt the butter. Oh, Jesus Christ, my knee. The butter's melted. Let me crack some eggs. Crack your eggs. Take the other egg out. Jesus Christ, what is this? Vibranium egg? What the fuck? Get in there. Now that I've cracked my eggs, it doesn't say whether you need to whisk them beforehand, but I am. I always like, anytime I do any kind of baking or cooking, I like to whisk my eggs beforehand. Just lightly, don't just want to break the yolk, because what you want is you want to make sure everything gets an even coating inside your crumble mix. Otherwise, you could end up with bits of yolk in one corner and white in another corner, and then all hell breaks loose, and then before you know it, you're fighting a revolution. So I'm just going to quickly mix this. I've lightly whisked my egg. Going to put that in there because we don't want yolk getting everywhere. Hygiene. If this was my kitchen, I would have chucked it straight in the sink. It's better not fall down. So let's make some space. Bring this back. Bring it back. Bring it back to me. Right, I'm going to chuck in my. Now it's just 2 tablespoons of melted butter. That's what the thing says. So I'm just going to go with 2 tablespoons of melted butter. I might just add 1 more tablespoon, because you know it's a nice buttery scone. You don't want to skim. Healthy with the melted butter and all the cheese. Healthy. All right, then I combine my eggs. I'm not going to do them all at once. I want to mix this in. Make sure we get a nice cover before adding more, and then we add the rest because I'm a rebel, or because it's the actual thing that it insists that you do. Now I've already put my oven to preheat. You preheat that at 180 degrees or 350 degrees Fahrenheit, and we'll go from there. Mix this up until you get a nice kind of doughy consistency. Remember, it's not going to feel the same consistency as if you were using proper flour. However, as long as it cooks, who gives a crap? Once it's all combined and looking good, you're gonna, proper get your fingers in there. Nothing quite beats a good fingering of a dough. That's what I always say. Right, so now that I've got my clump, we're going to break this up into smaller pieces. We're going to bung it in the oven. I don't think I've forgotten anything else to add. So this is looking good. I'm just going to work it a little bit more. It's a little bit sloppy and eggy, but I'm pretty sure that's normal. And take this to the kitchen. Well, I hope you can see me, because this portion of the video is going to be a complete bust if you can't. I've got my dough. I'm going to take a little clump. I don't know how big you like it. Get your mind out of the gutter. And just press it down a little bit. Not too stiff, not too hard. So I've got my greaseproof paper. I've buttered it. Try to keep them even, because then they'll just all cook the same. And about the same height, same everything. These will expand in the oven. Right, so that's everything done. It goes onto the baking tray. I got 5 out of that mixture, so it's not too bad. Obviously you can definitely cut these into smaller pieces if you want to get more out of them. But you know, this is a good size. That's a normal scone size, I suppose. And just going to wait for the oven to reach optimum temperature, and then I'm going to bung it in. Hello. Hey. I'm joined by my assistant. Go to all that effort to clean your work area and your chairs and all of that to make sure there are no cat hairs, and she just comes and plucks herself right back down once everything is clean and tidy, didn't you? So there are some vegan options that you could do for this as well. I wouldn't know what those vegan options are because I'm not a vegan. More power to those that do it. But obviously you could just substitute the cheese out. If you wanted to make it a lot sweeter, then you can just add blueberries instead of cheese. I don't recommend vegan cheese or vegan substitute products because you read the list of ingredients they put in there, and I just find it's a lot of chemical stuff. Yeah, okay. A lot of chemical stuff in there that I personally just don't really want in my stuff. But you know, I'm sure you guys know better if it's safe or not. But again, if you want the vegan option, just take out the cheese and go for a sweeter. Add some blueberries. Or don't add any cheese at all. Add something else that's not vegan, like ham or something. Right, so they're ready. They only took around about between 16 to 18 minutes. Let's have a look and see what we've got. Oh yes, look at that. Lovely golden brown. The camera is not very good, so it won't show you exactly how nice and golden brown they are. But take it from me. You can hear that crumbly. Okay, these are just fresh out the oven, so I'm going to leave them to rest. And then we'll see what they taste like. I'm very, very excited. Inside, very soft, still a little bit gooey, but that's okay. Don't forget we had a bunch of cheese in here that's melted in, and it's almond flour. The outside is nice and crusty and flaky, and we don't want to overdo it because we can end up drying the outside and then the inside is also dry, and you know, I'm very fussy with my scones. I don't like them too dry in the middle. It's the same when I make cake. I like a little bit of doughiness. However, this isn't that doughy. Once it sets proper, I'm pretty sure it's going to be amazing. Anyway, let's give it a taste. Oh, let's see that cheese that just came out. Bloody hell. The only thing I would do a bit different is not so much egg. You can kind of taste the egg, so maybe just do one big egg and some yolk. But holy crap, this is amazing. This is full of flavour. You can see that cheese. Look at that. Cheese just pulls apart. Still smoking as well after all that time. You can see the little bits of feta. And it looks absolutely fantastic. Delicious. The outer shell has an amazing crunch. You can taste the garlic, you can taste the salt. You can really taste the cayenne pepper. Yeah. 10 out of 10, would recommend. And there you have it. Keto scones, very easy to make. Even an idiot like me could do it. Took absolutely no time whatsoever. Don't forget, I'm doing a video explaining everything, so it took a lot longer to do these. But when you do this on your own, so easy to make. Obviously, price-wise, I wouldn't recommend it, given how expensive the almond flour is. But as a one-off, if you ain't got the budget, I 100% recommend these. Amazing. Again, just a little bit less egg. And yeah, fantastic. Join me again next time, where I think I might actually attempt to do a sweeter version of these. And that would probably include a couple of berries. Thank you all for joining me, and let normality resume.